What is this pot I found at a thrift store? It is cast iron with no markings. The gray thing is an insert, and it seems to be a pot for cooking something maybe? I do not know if it is supposed to have a lid or not. It had $40 on it and it was not a known maker, so I left it. Any ideas? It's an enameled milk boiler from the 1930s. We have something similar here. Because of the lid, it can't spill when boiling over. The milk comes through the big hole and falls back through the smaller ones. As a child, my grandma had one on the stove, and I was fascinated by the milk running through a skin while boiling over. I can still picture it as good memories. What is this building type, with slits raised above the ground? Found in Ribadeo in Galicia, Spain. I found this a lot around rural houses. They are always raised and have a door, and they are also seen on newer buildings. Do you have any ideas about it? Here in Galicia, those things are called Kastro, built in wood or stone, raised from the ground by pillars, ending in flat saddle stones. As said before, it was used to store grains while providing protection against rats and other animals. Those slabs on the columns that go outwards are meant to prevent the rats from climbing it. Usually, houses that have old and preserved canastros here in Galicia are pretty expensive because they are like a piece of history. This table at my friend's house has these folding sides with handles on them. I've seen tables with sides that fold down to make the table smaller, but never one that folds up and doesn't fold flat, and the hinges are pretty beefy. I'm wondering what the purpose of this is. If anyone has any info, it would be appreciated. Thanks. It's called a butler's tray table from around the 1970s through the 80s. In the early 1980s, these were sort of a style trend along with British campaign furniture. There used to be a catalog store called the Bombay Company, which sold a lot of this stuff. I used to have one of their butler's tables. It can be carried around easily with the handles this way. What is this thing my friend picked up at a flea market? It is stamped Gibulit and may be made in Paris. It's made of a metal square with a dial and some attachments. I guess it's a medical instrument of some sort. I have nothing else to say about it. Please help us. It's a sphygmograph, a mechanical device used to measure blood pressure in the mid-19th century. It was developed in 1854 by German physiologist Karl von Wehrort. It is considered the first external non-intrusive device used to estimate blood pressure. The device was a system of levers hooked to a scale pan, in which weights were placed to determine the amount of external pressure needed to stop blood flow in the radial artery. I was metal detecting on Fort Myers Beach behind one of the nature trails yesterday. I found what looks to be a loot stash. It was dirty and seemed to have not been opened in a while. It is strange how it was just there in the inlet. It confused me because there are older items, but also some things more modern from the 1920s. All of this stuff could be junk, but maybe you guys will help me with your knowledge. Thanks in advance for the help. This looks like you found someone's Santeria kit. Santeria is an African diasporic religion that developed in Cuba during the late 19th century. Cowrie shells are used for divinization. Railroad spikes, horseshoes, and metal arrows are all used in Santeria. Apparently, this kit is used to venerate Oshun. She is the Orisha of love, beauty, femininity, and sensuality, which leads many people to compare her to Venus or Aphrodite. So, you've probably found where someone did a ritual, probably using the things in the tin as a focus. Good thing it was a love ritual and not something bad. What is this strange screaming metal baby found at an antique store? Around 6 inches high, and it seems to be mounted into something. I had it for years, and I've been using it as an incense burner. I'd be really interested to know what this is or what it's from. It's a cast iron black Americana ashtray missing a chamber pot from the early 1900s. It's made by National Products Incorporated of Chicago, Illinois. It's an African-American baby sitting on a chamber pot crying. His open mouth was used for resting your cigarette and for dumping your ashes. Ashes would fall below into the pot for later cleaning. What is this metal wedge with a handle, found in a shop garage in Michigan, next to lots of woodworking equipment? I could only make out the middle and bottom inscriptions, which read 24 inches and Chagrin Falls, Ohio, respectively. It was quite heavy, so it seems to be made of solid metal. I took a picture of the only inscriptions I could find, which were on the top. Any ideas? It's a cast iron tailor's sad iron. And sad indeed was the person who had to iron with this 22-pound beast. It was made by J.W. Williams and Son of Chagrin Falls, Ohio, which was started in 1844, where it remained until it relocated to Ravenna in 1892, which helps date the piece. A sad iron is an old-fashioned type of iron that is heated on a stove or other heat source before it is used to press clothes. What is this small, heavy, round metal brush thing with two mini brushes attached to the top? Found with some antiques. It's heavy, it fits in the palm of an adult's hand. It has stiff bristles, with a green felt on the bottom, and it does not have any markings. The bristles may have once been soft, but I'm not sure. I have attempted search terms such as 3 brushes, triple brush, antique, silverware polisher, connected brushes, etc., but have yielded nothing remotely close. Do you know what it might be called? It's a 19th century desktop fountain pen nib wipe. You dip the pen in water first to get most of the ink off. The brush is more to get dried on bits and dry it off. Most of the old desk items have felt on the bottom to protect the desk from scratches. What is this round wooden stick with a metal holder? It was found in an old house in the Netherlands, and nothing there seemed like it was related to this item. I have included the ruler in the images for scale. Any ideas? It's a 1960s cookie press, missing the tip and the design discs. An extrusion die slips over the end, and 2 tabs engage the raised notched ring to retain it. We had one growing up. What is this thing I found in my grandmother's house? Approximately 4.5 inches high by 5 inches and 4.5 inches wide. It's a flexible metal screwed to a block of wood. It looks like a strange decoration. A music clef, maybe. Any ideas? Please tell us in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.